I brought my blade to the fight of the Maxim gun. I am learning, as we all are. And the tone that I always wish to take is a tone of just being a real person, first and foremost. Because through the kamikaze living, I'll never lose sight of why there was a transition to kamikaze in around 2009, 2010, because when you're having to achieve what you cannot possibly achieve, you have to push yourself. And I know a lot of you, let me not say it like that, because this monologue that I'm producing, and I'm just gonna call it a monologue for now, but it's definitely in these times, what we're doing is that we're entering the screen. And so what we say will last forever. The way it's being broken down onto the screen and then transmitted, just in my own words to you, that's my synthesis, is that you're being transmitted, and then if you choose to broadcast, transmitted was the wrong word, but then if you choose to broadcast, then that signal is going to be sent out, and it'll exist as this form, not in any other of your broken down components or atoms. So when I speak, I'm not trying to sound intelligent or to give you facts from a textbook. I am only speaking as I am. It's very important that I articulate myself to you in a natural way, because as I've come to understand my scrolls or my downloads or just my interactions in life and how they may or may not influence me, my role, my chosen role, is that what happened to me doesn't happen again. And failure is expected. But since the only reason I'm hesitating to speak is due to your lack of understanding, and I want you to understand, because love is unconditional. There is a problem and it's a generational curse, because if I was taught something that's wrong and I rejected the teachings, it doesn't make me right or wrong. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about making the decision within yourself to choose to be right. I don't believe that the dishonor that is being exhibited by mainly women and the same men that they've been having sex with since Adam and Eve, or whatever you believe. These women are fornicating with the exact same men. Nothing has changed. The thing about war, which is what I'm in war. I wouldn't include anybody else in that, but just synthesizing my war, I and nobody asked to be born. That's an obvious. So I will tell you all to shut the fuck up, because we have reached a point whereby people are choosing what to learn for their own self-interest in our common world. And people in general have gotten so intelligent that they understand trends, they understand politics, they understand popular support to such an extent whereby women in general are regulated. I don't know who the queen of this beehive is. I'm not sure if our people, our race, because we're not sure about the lives outside of this planet. But let's just talk about all life on our planet. I'm not sure if it's being regulated by a man or a woman. And honestly, at this point, I'm not caring if it matters anymore, because when it comes to my own individuality, as an entity, as a spirit, as flesh, blood, and bone, my entire life has been geared towards this not happening. What's happening right now is that in the country of Nigeria, the mother of my child born in October of 2023 is holding my child hostage. Anything that you said concerning my situation that I've expressed doesn't matter. I don't need you to agree with me or to disagree with me or whatever the case may be. The truth is the truth. Law is man-made. If you tell me the law, or if you tell me that it's my choice that I'm not with my daughter, then you are an enemy and you must die. And that is where it comes to being very direct, and it comes to being very straightforward, so that there are no games being played. And for the censorship, I need to explain what I mean by you need to die. I mean that you need to die. But what I mean by that is that the reality is what you all are operating off of is survival of the fittest. What does survival of the fittest mean? Survival of the fittest means that those who survive are those most fit to survive. I don't play y'all's games. I don't play any game. I don't want to say I do my own thing, but I operate off of the reality. And the reality is that I know, as well as you do, that it is your choice to think the way that you think. The bottom line is that in our society, we have different segments of society. I'm talking about our common creation, our common world, what we perceive. We have different segments of society. When did we agree to these demarcations within our societies and cultures? We did not. We were all born into this construct. If the construct does not benefit you, I personally empathize with you and understand that it's not as easy as it seems to get out of a construct that does not benefit you. But then that's where I can now go to the masters and talk about the slave mentality. The masters that I know are in America mainly. I have a mentor in Africa. He's a master, obviously. But who is your master? Who is your master? You know what I'm saying? As an individual, is it the creator? Is it somebody that said something? Is it Instagram? Is it what? Is it you following your own mind or your own master? My thing is that with current events, the Super Bowl, which is American football, was recently played, and they had a Super Bowl rally in Kansas City, Missouri. And that Super Bowl rally was apparently shot up, where violence happened there, causing injuries to more than 20 people, and a couple of people died. This is, I would go ahead and just flow with my words here and just articulate that this is a seemingly random occurrence, right? But it seems like this is continuously just happening. It's increasing, it's not slowing down. And people's reaction to it is that people need to go get help, or people need to force help upon people, or create all these laws and all this and all that. But my thing is that there are some concepts, like I did not create the movie The Purge. I did not create the work of art, the film, The Purge. But as it seems to me, because people just consume things. I mean, if you like horror movies, that's your thing. It's not. I'm not trying to tell people how to live here. The thing is that I have done everything in my life within my power to make sure that the woman who I choose to have a child with and my child know that I'm gonna do everything to take care of their needs, which includes making sure that they can be self-sufficient, but also work together as a collective. It's not as cutthroat as some people make it, and it's definitely not as easygoing as some people make it. And I think that I definitely have to make another tract or trail here by saying that you have a basic blueprint of life. Everybody does. It makes sense. It's necessary. You need a basic blueprint. But your mind, according to my masters, according to the masters, according to what I would just say is fact here, is amazing in the sense of the amount of information that can be stored and utilized there. And all that it takes is just programming. It just takes for either you to program yourself, somebody to program you, whatever the case may be, and you can become a full entity. I don't like to speak in the same terms as others, but since these terms are generally out there vibing, low vibrations, high vibrations, you have to take it upon yourself, and we have to know. You have to make a choice. You have to choose a side. You have to let us know, who do you want to be? Because on the one end, our society protects all of us. But on the other end, the extremes to which our society goes to protect all of us also creates a situation where any one of us could push a button and cause a lot of harm to a lot of people. For me, I'm not speaking loosely. I'm not getting at any one thing. My personal situation is a gender war. Every woman on this earth is telling me that I should be without my child. And every man on this earth who knows how to speak with women to fornicate is telling me that I gotta tell these women what they want to hear so that I can see my child and die internally while my child is being inundated with values that are against my life and the life of young men that I die for on a daily basis, including myself. I'm included in that bracket. I do it for myself. That's self-love. But if I do it for myself, I'll recognize that others are going through it too. Every excuse that you all have, as I've presented it, you all are full of excuses. There is nothing but logic. If women don't have logic, then they need to sit down and let the next individual or next entity with logic put information out into the world. Within this last year, I've had to come to terms with the fact that there's nothing that I can do or say to the mother of my child to get her to understand that I did not force you to have this child with me. You can say you didn't force me to have this child with you, but you were deceitful. You were deceitful and conniving with a lot of people. The trust issues that have been created by the unconditional love of women. I don't trust my mother. I don't trust my brothers. I don't trust my mentor. I don't trust anybody on this planet, because just as I'm speaking to the world right here on this camera, my mother could be texting my consigliere. My consigliere could be texting the mother of my child. The mother of my child could be texting my mentor, and a host of members to now to change the algorithm or the flow of things, to now make me perceive even just the slightest thing that would serve their purpose in order to get me to act in a certain manner. And that's what I'm saying is that, like, from what I understand and from what I've been taught, the knowledge doesn't matter. Nothing matters. It's your intention that matters. Why are you doing what you're doing? My intentions have created life. Your intentions are taking my life. We have to be careful, and there's nothing. This is just a war, man. Like, I don't want to say this, but if I don't, like, I can't express myself, because the fact of the matter is that it's convert or die. Convert to logic or die. It's that simple. Convert to logic or die. I shouldn't have to think for any one of you before you reach out to me and tell me the things that you're telling me. Where does your ego come from, and where does my ego come from? Do the knowledge. Go look at your reality and go look at my reality that's available to you. What I've done in this life is completely think about my own self-interest and look at that. For me to serve my own interests, I must serve the interests of others. With intention, not with self-interest, greed, and selfishness. Selfishness is a state of being. It's natural. It's the lower. What is not natural to the degree of the selfishness is to consider the collective for your own self, because nobody does anything for the interest of the collective alone. That is a fallacy. It is not natural. It is natural for the individual to be dependent on the collective. That's natural. Logic is deep. Logic is deep to the extent that if you all convert, then telekinesis will happen. Then psychic abilities would reign, because it's not about any one thought. There's all thought. All thought exists. So with all the thought that exists, in conclusion, what I asked for was that if you have feelings for a guy, or if you want to fuck a guy, you need to kind of make me aware. Not kind of, you need to make me aware, because I know myself, and what will happen to me is what's happening right now. It's not about controlling, it's not about self-control, it's not about anything. You have my child. My child and somebody else's child aren't the same child. Do the knowledge. Do the knowledge on yourself, then do the knowledge on me. And then you'll understand why this is affecting me so much. Because you've created a situation whereby I am sure to die if I don't war on all of you. I'm dying right now. People were seeing me die in Nigeria from December 2022, January 2023, February 2023, and the beginning of March 2023. Before I came back to America, my mother was hearing me on the phone, and she should have known better. My mentor was right there physically, still trying to dictate for me what I should be, what I should do. I know myself better. You should know yourself better than others know you. You should be able to regulate yourself better than other people regulate you. When I saw that I was not going to be able to regulate my anger anymore in my life, I begged every one of my personal connections before I left Nigeria. This is not right. I can say whatever I want to say because I have no fear of what label that you'll place on me. I have brothers that are from other mothers. I've been called a sociopath. I went to go look at what a sociopath is. I've been told that I'm an African and thinks he's more important than he actually is. And I've reflected on this. And I've tried my best that if I'm exhibiting behaviors that are dealing too much with self-importance, that I've tapered those. This is a choice. This war is a choice. If you kill me, or if you cannot put me in a box, I'll fight you tooth and nail. No law can hold me. Man created law. What man is my better? You have to come and show me. And when you come and show me, you have to be ready to die because I am. This is for the third world and all third world peoples and the Black African diaspora. This is for all peoples. I pay homage to my history and my culture of passing our history along orally. With that said, in these times, I was born in 1991 in Atlanta, Georgia, to Nigerian immigrant parents. My mother brought me and my older brother back to this country in 1996. without my father. I was raised by my mother in Nashville, Tennessee between 1996 up until now. I'm a grown man. I need to say that obviously because your brain is working in a crazy way. In Nashville, the first school I went to was Haywood Elementary School between kindergarten and the middle of the second grade. Think about the environment. That's why I'm telling you these things. Between second grade, in second grade I was at Lakeview. In third grade I went to Mount View. So between third grade and fourth grade I was at Mount View. In fifth grade, Mount View is more in deep Antioch at the Laverne border. So I went to John F. Kennedy, which is also in deep Antioch at the Laverne border in the fifth grade. In the fifth grade, I begun to go to school in the urban center of Nashville, Tennessee, between 6th grade and 10th grade at 3 different schools. Head Middle School between 6th grade and 8th grade, East Literature Magnet School in the 9th grade, and Martin Luther King High School in the 10th grade, before finishing high school in deep Antioch at Antioch High School. Think of those environments. Think of me, Adebayo, Ayodeji, Uduashion, Abdurauf, Ajibola, in those environments. I graduated high school in 2009 and went to the University of Tennessee in East Tennessee, Knoxville, between 2009 and 2012, due to my desire to coach basketball at the Division I level at Duke University specifically. I did the right thing. Basketball, think about it. Tennessee. I protested against the University of Tennessee in November 2012, and I was kicked out on the grounds of destabilizing mental stability. In 2013, I tried to go and join the French Foreign Legion after I tried to join the Marine Corps in the United States of America 3 times. I failed. I spent a little bit of time in Spain, and I was deported from the United Kingdom back to America, where Officer White, I'll skip that part. So I eventually went to Africa via Nigeria in January of 2014. And I didn't go to Africa to find myself. I went to Africa to get players, while I kept in mind that you have to give to these kids. You can't just take from them, because what you want to achieve for yourself is a high task, but you have your own personal social issues that are gonna not make your own personal goal for yourself possible. So you have to face these issues, and you also have to consider these issues within the people that you're coming into contact with. The fact of the matter is that every detail about my life is pertinent to where I am at right now, and how I interact with people makes it necessary that I'm on the screen, because I'm a nation builder. I'm a prince. I'm me. You're you. I'm not disrespecting you. Why would you disrespect me? Fulfill your function however you want to fulfill your function, this exact same way that I am. The problem is that your function of complacency, your function of racism has been killing me. I didn't ask to be here. I did not give birth to myself. So within the conditions that you've been giving me, you've learned to not judge people. You've learned to not talk about people. You've learned to, all the crazy things that you all have learned, and you're enabling these women to take my child from me. You've learned these things now, but I've been knowing all of this knowledge that is new to you all my entire life. I've considered them because I've had to. And I recognize that, okay, well, I've been considerate about these things because I've had to be considerate about these things my whole life. But you, that you're just learning these things, you're not being considerate. I don't know if a man loses his virginity. Apparently he doesn't. Because my father laughed at me when I told him I lost my virginity to the mother of my child. But I lost my virginity at 28 years old. I kissed a girl at 18 years old. I fingered her at 18 years old. I cannot say I dated that girl. I cannot say I know that girl. I cannot say that girl knows me. I don't believe in dating, and I didn't date that girl. And so this is all a part of the pieces that you don't have to be given all these pieces if you just do the knowledge. What are you doing with your intention? What are you putting out into the universe? I personally am not an innocent person. Okay, I've never killed anybody. I don't think, done any major intentional harm to anybody. But due to, call it greed or whatever the case may be, or whatever, I'm definitely telling you what you know is that I'm not an innocent person. Nobody really is. But the things that you've done that make you a sinner, or maybe take from your good karma, reflect on these things and what was your intention when you did these things. And this will tell you what you're projecting into the universe. Right now, I cannot possibly tell you that I desire to be alive right now. That's crazy. My child was born in October, and due to the psychological warfare, right now, I'm 100% sure that somebody's going to tell me that I'm harassing the mother of my child. But the fact of the matter is that the mother of my child is holding my child hostage, and apparently has been holding herself hostage to me our entire relationship, because I am fucking lost. Because I have made it clear to everyone, and most especially the mother of my child, that I love her dearly. There's no way that I would be able to be with anybody in a relationship if I did not have sincere love for that person. I've given her every opportunity to go and be with whoever she wants to be with, even if it requires, it's not gonna require it, it's just my human nature, like I love you. And so even if I have to take care of you because, I've made you used to a lifestyle that these niggas can't provide for you, or these men cannot provide for you, or you're not allowed to be a homosexual woman in Africa and you can't be with the woman that can provide these things with you, I've told you I will give for as long as I can. As long as I can sustain, I will do this. You don't have to talk to me, you don't have to do anything. 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. The mother of my child got pregnant at the end of 2022 in December. I'm 32, she's 22. Who are you gonna point the blame at? There's nobody to blame. She has a grown fucking mother that I made sure that if you are a mother and you feel like your daughter is not safe with me, then don't allow your daughter to see me. I didn't force my way into your husband's house and sleep with your daughter or whatever the case may be. You all invited me. And from day one, I also said that I wanted to see Adora's father as well, because I'm a grown man. I'm a nation builder. I'm not going to be running around with your daughter. But you all insisted that it was not the right time and that you all would take care of the things that you all needed to do, which is Adora's education, to make it the right time. And that's what I'm saying, is that this no longer requires talking or explanation. This requires the destruction of the country they call Nigeria, because I'm about to have to start saying very political things. I'm about to have to start being very articulate and direct and unassuming. Unassuming isn't the right word, but without deviating from my case. I'm gonna have to really have a war campaign against you guys, and I cannot do it. I don't have any more spiritual, physical, mental energy to give, because I spent the last year literally protecting everyone against my own interests. And really it was to my own interest, because even if I had caused harm to people, it couldn't, maybe I'd be with my daughter right now if I had caused harm to people. I'm gonna end this here. I'll call it to be continued. But I want you to know that Wayne Perry is in the federal supermax in Florence, Colorado, with Larry Hoover and Jeff Fort, the Malikah. I declare war.